Welcome to Pots with Pans. This is my recipe for my favorite chocolate chip cookie tart. First thing you're going to need is a stick of room temperature butter. You're going to add that to your mixing bowl here. Now you're going to need 2 big spoons of sour cream. The measurement doesn't have to be perfect. You can use Greek yogurt instead if you'd rather. It just makes it nice and tender crust. All right, we are going to add our paddle attachment to the mixer. You can see it's all lined up right there. Just twist that on. We're just gonna mix this until it's a nice combined mixture. All right, that's looking pretty good. And we could shut that off. Let's focus on the flour now. 1 1/4 cups of flour. Just gonna add that right into that butter sour cream combination. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is a sweet tart, so that's why we're putting sugar. If you'd rather make a savory tart, then you can use a little bit of salt. I would just use a little bit less. Now we're just gonna mix this on low until the dough comes together. And you can see once it starts coming together, it'll clump together. It'll get combined really nicely. Perfect. Okay, you can see this is all starting to clump together. We definitely don't want to overmix this because we want it to be nice and tender. So just until it comes together, you can shut it off now. You can see it all sticks together. Perfect. All right, we're going to take this off the attachment. We're going to put it all together in the bowl. Just kind of give it a little quick knead with your hand. Just easier to pull out of this bowl. And then we're going to get a piece of plastic wrap because we're going to refrigerate this for about a half hour. So I'm just going to kind of squish it all down, form it into a disc so it's easier to roll out after. And I'm just going to make sure it's all covered. You want your butter to stay nice and cold for a pastry crust. That's one of the keys. So we're going to stick this in the refrigerator for, like I said, 30 minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes. We're going to put a little flour on our board here and unwrap our nice and cold dough. And we're just going to roll this all out. I usually squish it down a little bit first, make sure there's enough flour on both sides, but not too much, because we want this to come off easily after once we roll it out. So I try to just squish it down a little bit first, and then I'm going to use my beautiful marble rolling pin. And you want to work from the center out to the edges. So center out and then the other center out. You can see this takes a little bit of time, a labor of love. Enjoy. This is putting love into it. All right, you're going to need a tart pan. Tart pan's a little bit smaller than a pie pan. We're just going to invert this. See, I just kind of fold it in half on my hand. I'm going to lay this right in the dish. And now I'm just going to pull the sides into all the little grooves so it looks really nice and neat. So this takes a little bit of time. You're just going to use your fingertips. This is the fun part. It's like sculpting. You know, when you make something like this for people, you put your love into it. It's almost like, you know, the artist's canvas. And that's what I love about baking and cooking. Because when you put that love into something, the people can taste it, they can feel it. And I always joke saying that my secret ingredient is in everything that I make. And it's love. So I always kind of tease people, do you taste the love in there? And most people say they do. So I hope you do too after you make this. Now you could put anything inside this as a filling, but I love chocolate chip cookies. So that's what I'm going to fill it with, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead with the filling. It's a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We're just going to add that to any bowl. I'm just using this mixing bowl. And now we're going to melt in the microwave 2/3 cup of butter. Yeah, there we go, about 20-30 seconds. We're just gonna pour that on top of the brown sugar. Nice, perfect. And then we are going to our next ingredient, which is some corn syrup, about a 1/2 cup. This is basically just more sugar. You can omit this if you don't like corn syrup, but I like it. So now we're gonna use some eggs, so 3 eggs. You always want to crack your eggs in a separate bowl anyway, just to make sure that they're all cool and everything. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this, a half a teaspoon. I'm going to use a different attachment now, my whisk attachment. And I'm just going to buzz through this just for, a few seconds. Just combine it. All right, that's perfect. Now we can just shut that off, and we're going to add the rest of our ingredients after we just kind of scoot everything off the edges with a spatula. All right, so my favorite, chocolate chips, half a cup of those. Let's pour them in. You can add a little bit less or a little bit more according to your like. I like walnuts, so I'm going to put a half a cup of walnuts, but you could put almonds if you'd rather, or pecans, whatever nuts you like. Same thing with coconut. If you don't like coconut, you can use something different, but I love coconut. So half a cup of coconut is going in. All right, we're just going to mix this all up together. Just a few seconds. You just need to combine it. We're going to mix it with a spoon a little bit more. There we go. All right, let's pour this in this tart pastry crust. Oh, look at that. That is sinful. Just going to spread it out so it goes to all the little sides here. Nice and even. Oh, it looks good. It's not even cooked yet, and it looks good. All right, we're going to stick this in the oven, 30 minutes, 375. It's going to get all bubbly and, ooh, look at that thing. Chocolate chip cookie tart. I hope you enjoy. Oh, look at this part. There's the love. It's getting sprinkled on.